Oops, I forgot to do it. Check yourself, Drew. Check yourself, Drew.
I'm checking myself. I check out.
Uh-oh. I always seem to have this issue. Oh, fuck.
What's that?
Drew, check yourself, Drew.
Yes! It's working!
Check yourself, Drew. Check yourself, Drew. Okay. Have you heard the podcast?
I have not heard yet. Episode 6.
Move your fat head. 6. Seis. Speaking of Spanish,
What's going on?
I've had quite a few people ask if we can respond in Spanish.
Service heard español.
Servicio herdo.
I don't think that's the way you do it, but I'm
Anyways,
sure it is
it's very exciting that at least we're getting cultural feedback.
Hey, you know what? If we can take Service Heard and scale it in 10 different languages, more the merrier, right? We're just making the world more mobile.
Yes.
That's the idea of this whole thing, isn't it?
It is. So, and more convenient.
Convenient and mobile.
Yes. So we probably should have looked at our last podcast to see what we were supposed to talk about today.
I got an idea.
Okay.
You've had a pretty big week.
I've had a big week.
On?
Big smile. Traction.
We finally getting traction.
Booyah! So,
People like us. They really
like
us. So far.
We've spent a lot of time sending text messages out in the past. All kinds of frou-frou.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of fun ones.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like fun.
No.
People like...
Get to the point.
They like to know how it's going to benefit them.
Yeah. What can you do for me?
So the easy one is, hey, I saw you on Home Advisor. I think they're expensive. What if I show you a more transparent and economical way to connect with customers? Let me know. Just start falling into my lap.
Take my wallet, my money.
Take
all.
my
data.
So
my
it's been very interesting. So
yep.
yes, our I would like to kind of compare not compare, but a click and a response I think are the same. If somebody clicks to apply for something or they actually respond to a text message, those are about the same. I mean,
you're talking about one-to-one.
They've taken
personal connection,
brain cell, and they've actually responded to us. And so we have gotten some really, really, really good feedback this week that it gives me goosebumps because my little baby that I've been working on for so long, people actually have a desire for it. Yeah. Now, is it wearing the right clothes right now? We're not exactly sure till we get more feedback. But we know one thing. They're looking for something new. They're looking for something different. Yeah. Providers are looking for a way to connect with customers and not get shit canned by these crazy companies that are charging. The stories I've heard are absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I mean, every conversation I had, anybody who's on Angie's List, some of these other big sites always have. I mean, I'm sure people will find fault in our service too as well. Somewhere down the line.
Not a chance.
Well, you never know.
Well, they will find fault.
But we'll fix it.
Yes. But with their feedback, we will fix that fault.
So when we were in Atlanta last week, we'll talk about that in a second, right? Yes. Remember I made a statement. I said the problem with these companies that are out there today is they tell you, the consumer, what you want. Right? They're not. They tell you what you want. They're not asking you what you want.
And they actually tell you their rules and how they're going to run you and run your business. Yeah. And they don't.
And they're impersonal. There's no face it. You're talking to some venture capital backed company or some bought out acquired company.
You don't know who. You're talking to a warehouse full of people that you have no idea what face you're talking to, and so it's
not. Service talking to this guy, the cow.
Him too.
Where's the cow? Oh, where's the cow suit?
Oh, I've been wearing it all week, but actually was obviously in it. I was in it last night for Halloween, obviously, and my wonderful wife was the other cow. We were both cows. Went to a party. Yeah. I washed it, or I jump in the pool with it, one or the other.
Amongst other things.
Yes. So we went to a party dressed as cows, as we have done in the past, and as in the past, my daughter took off running.
Sure.
Although all of her what did all of her friends say? Oh, the Larsons are here! The Larsons are here! And as we're sitting there handing out candy in the middle of this neighborhood, as trick-or-treaters that I have no idea walk by, they're like, Mr. Larson! So at the end of the day, I think that being a little bit fun and crazy, not too bad, but also being that good dad, it kind of works. So even though my kids are embarrassed, their friends kind of think maybe I'm okay.
So 10 years from now, when these kids are able to have cell phones, they will join Trusttheherd.
Most definitely.
That's the long play.
Here's the deal. Like, yes, I mean, they're not even going to remember what Facebook is and all that kind of stuff. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, go on the herd.
Go on the herd.
Go on the herd.
Heard it. Heard it.
I heard it.
Heard it.
I heard it back in the day.
Yeah, heard it.
I heard that.
Need something done? Go heard it.
I heard it. You heard it.
You heard it.
Bringing them in by the herds. All right, long story short, text messages are really resonating. It is a punch in the face of the providers, but if we punch them with a soft punch, explaining how we can help them, it seems like it's resonating with them, and we're getting replies, and we're responding, and we're making phone calls when we need to. And is it a onesie-twosie kind of thing right now? A little bit. But we got to have that.
Attraction.
You got to have that to get feedback. If we can get feedback from 100 people right now on what buttons they think are weird, or what they're hitting, or the system that needs to be changed, or the diameter of our circumference of the distance we're measuring from, or maybe, the one thing we have to be careful for is not looking at little specific situations, because we do have a very broad system. So in order to be specific for somebody that says, well, I want this and this and this, we're not that.
We're not a la carte.
We're not to a point. But if we have 10 people,
correct,
12 people say the same darn thing, then we know we need to make some changes.
You've got it,
So
we're listening.
So we're listening. We're community driven, as you guys know, and as the people I'm talking to know, and they're really engaged with the fact that I say, hey, be patient. Well, when are you going to bring us customers? Well, right now we're only marketing to providers because we can't bring customers to no providers. So be patient. Give us feedback right now. Help us build a better system so that when we start going hardcore customer marketing,
coming to you, that
we're ready to go and they're coming to you. And they're actually engaging in that. Not to mention it's free right now for them. Yeah. So they're jumping on for free. They're being able to be a part of a startup. Mm-hmm. Oh man, last night I was at this Halloween party, and
we dressed as startup.
I heard a couple people talking about how they were entrepreneurs.
Yeah, did that man.
And then I talked to another guy that was like, "Yeah, I got the everyday Ferrari." I go, "You got the everyday Ferrari?" He goes, "Yeah, they just came out with this new model. It's an everyday driving one."
Everyday Ferrari.
$2.25.
I was just at Ferrari.
And then another Ferrari pulled up, and he's like, "That's not the everyday driving one. That's the one that when you put 11,000 miles on it, you have to redo the engine." I said, "That's pretty interesting." Yeah. I'm into more islands and traveling than I am cars.
I like cars.
Currently, I'm into Trusttheherd.
Yeah, I was a Ferrari this morning.
My kids don't realize this, but we could have a couple Bentleys and a couple Ferraris if we didn't have Trusttheherd. So,
here we go.
You gotta
go fund me.
It's all about priorities in life, and right now the priority is Trusttheherd, and so everything else is slightly
all in.
So, marketing, text messages are working.
It's working. And so what didn't work?
Facebook shiznit is extremely difficult, and it's very hard, I think, to resonate with service providers on Facebook.
Influencer marketing. That was tough.
Influencer marketing. We
dabbled in it.
We haven't got deep into it because, but I think it's worth a shot with micro influencers. I'm talking
localized.
$50 here, $50 there, $50 here. Throw them a shirt, throw them a hat, have them put on. Hey, I find all my service providers on Trusttheherd. Hey, and that's it. Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. What else, Drew? What's going on in your life? Can I stop really quickly and tell our wonderful audience what you dressed up as last night?
No, let's not do that, please.
So our last meeting, Drew told me that he was going to dress his kid up as Chucky, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I saw a Facebook post, and he was a jug of spicy mustard, and his wife was ketchup, and his kid was a hot dog. So I think about Chucky versus a hot dog, and I think when his son is 16 and he's like, "Dad, so you had the option of making me Chucky or a hot dog?"
The shit you do for marriage.
Oh man, I might have to show that picture sometime.
Oh, 3 years ago, my lovely wife made me be a fucking bar of soap.
And were you not bending over? I hope. Wow,
no, she was a loofah.
She was a loofah, and you were soap, and you guys rubbed together and created foam?
No, I pouted the whole night.
I bet you pouted.
Yeah.
Drank enough beers.
I had nothing to do with her for the rest of the night.
Well, we've been cows for 3 years.
You are. You've been
Unfortunately,
a cow for a very long time.
we've been working with Trusttheherd for 3 years.
Yeah. Cow. Maybe it's a costume
This was
of the future. Once Trusttheherd is global, maybe the cow becomes the costume of choice. Maybe the Randy Larson cow with the beard.
I did see another
with
cow.
The beard. Cow with the beard.
I did see another cow walking around last night, though.
Was it yellow?
It was not yellow. And so people knew that I distinctively was not the Chick-fil-A cow. All right, so I'm not sure exactly what we were going to talk about this session. I know we mentioned bootstrap financing,
stuff, but
marketing.
We were in Atlanta.
We're just talking about the shit of a startup. I mean, that's what this whole podcast is day by day what we're dealing with. So yes, we went to Atlanta.
Podcast vlog. Yeah,
we showed up at this amazing presentation, and we were the only people showed up there at. It was supposed to start at 8. We showed up at 7:30. And we couldn't get in, and there was nobody in the parking lot.
Lights were off. It was dark and cold.
So we're wondering to ourselves, are we in the right spot?
It was foreshadowing of a startup, life of a startup.
Yeah.
Dark and cold.
I mean,
locked out.
Almost spent like $600 extra in plane tickets to get there because I totally thought we screwed up.
Yep.
That's another thing.
Another thing. You
panicked.
Make sure your CFO when a startup run everything through them.
Yeah, we were on the way to the airport to Atlanta, and I realized that I thought I booked the flight for the next day. So we quickly decided it was worthwhile because we were going to this magnificent presentation to book another $450 flight. About 3 miles later, we realized that I did book the right flight. So all being said, it wound up being A-okay. Got refunded, flew out, landed.
Well, we had a little bit of issue with the rental car. That's a little bit of an issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a rental car. We showed up late, and there was no rental car for us. They were closed.
So we had to rent and Uber made no sense because it would have cost.
Uber was way too much because of going back and forth and figuring it out.
Yeah.
And so we rented a car.
Yeah.
Crashed, got up, sat at the front door of
not crashed the car. We
crashed to sleep.
Yeah, it's not good.
Talked about.
You're already banned from one rental car places, aren't you?
I did get banned from one, although they said I can possibly chat and talk them into reinstating me. So, again, woke up early, 7:30, got over to this presentation and realized we were early, but not that early.
No, I mean 7:30 for a presentation. That's usually when you need to be there.
Some random dude with a card that's a member there let us in.
Yeah.
And still from that point on, it took another 15, 20 minutes until somebody showed up. But at the end of the day, they started coming in by the herds. And maybe 20 people? 25?
More than that.
25 people showed up.
Decently attended for.
And we presented. And what 1 Million Cups is, it's a way to present your startup to other entrepreneurs, other business-minded people. Not necessarily people that are going to throw their money at you. Not necessarily. But there definitely are people in there that want.
It's great. I mean, it's amazing practice. If you're working a pitch deck and you're trying to learn those skills, which are very important in a startup or any business for a matter. I mean, this is an excellent way to go out there and practice and get feedback. I mean, you're kind of on a firing squad a little bit too. We were from a firing squad because we got some shots fired at us.
You're feeling that way. I know. You're feeling a little bit like they were going at us.
I'm combative.
I think they were, but I think it was constructive, and I think that
totally.
Here's what I look at it 3 different ways. I mean, either somebody's going to jump out of their seat and throw you money. People are going to sit there and not say a word, and you're going to know you really bored them, or they're going to ask you a bunch of questions because they're interested.
Yeah.
So I think we were in that middle zone where, again, we were still trying to resonate our message. I mean, we got back from there and we realized that, hey, we can use your modern day Yellow Pages as one of our things, but maybe we don't use that on everything. And maybe we resonate more with, hey, we can resonate with people with like, hey, we are the direct connect. What is our new line?
Speaking of which, yes, we scrapped it.
Our new
Yellow
line.
Pages. Yep, we were the modern day Yellow Pages. Now
that was our main tagline.
Yep. Now we are your direct connect.
We're gonna pull it up here real quick. Here we are.
We don't even know it.
We do kind of know it.
We kind of know
it.
We're winging this whole thing.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Right now, if you go to the website, though, we are the
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Your direct connection to the service professionals you need now. Don't answer a bunch of questions and wait for somebody to get back to you. Get help now. So, we also have a little blurt on the bottom that says you shouldn't have to waste time filtering through a ton of online search results, wondering who the right person is for your needs. So, that's a little bit lengthy down there, but it's in small
Pain
print.
points. We're
Pain
hitting,
points.
We're hitting pain points.
So these are more customer pain points. We're currently, though, because this is more of our customer page that people come and see us. But right now we're really finding provider pain points. And it's amazing with these text messages what I'm finding other companies are doing to people. Yeah. It's exactly what we thought.
Really, because they can, right? You can. I mean,
somebody dropping $800 to $1,200 a month on one of these companies. One of them dropping $65,000 a month when they only make
a month.
I mean, sorry, a year.
Oh,
when they only make $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
So 33% of their money is going into advertising.
That's a lot.
People that are just peed off because they think they're maybe getting robocalls and fake leads and paying for things.
It's always a possibility.
Trying to get refunds. So we've created a transparent system that doesn't allow for any of that. No. You pay one fee, you're there.
And you can opt in and out as you wish.
Yep. Turn your business on, turn it off.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, other things that have taken place since Atlanta. We walked into the Atlanta Tech
Village, yep.
Which we were expecting ping pong, beer taps, one wheels, scooters, ramps, people having fun, beanbag chairs, and it was like crickets.
Drones. No drones.
There was no drones. There was no fun people. There was a kitchen.
No free food.
There was there was like a banana or something, and if you paid $50 for the day, you could get an extra apple. Yeah. But there was no fun.
I think a lot what's happening now, and this is a little bit of a tangent conversation, is that almost every city now is trying to capture the tech startup is a new athlete dream for like when we were kids, we all want to be sports professionals, sports stars, or singers, or actors. I feel like tech startup now is the new thing for the new generation, and everybody wants to capture that somehow because everyone's like you said, every coffee shop is full of people sitting there with their AirPods on or their Bose headphones and they're coding away at something, right? I don't know what the hell they're doing. But with that being said, people are thinking, okay, well, if that's where the next generation of people want to work and do, why not create these tech villages and stuff, which end up being nothing but empty.
I mean, there was a company we're familiar with.
You go there for inspiration. Like, I want to go there to meet other tech entrepreneurs and talk and brainstorm. And that environment stuff, the free beer and the ping pong table, that's cool. I'm too old for that crap. But anyway, it is what it is. But in the day, you want to brainstorm and you want to think about hey, how can we mastermind the project that we're doing together? Yeah, I mean, I guess the anchor at that tech village was a company called Bark. We saw one person,
which we're familiar with, which is an online device, like a safety device for children, so you understand what they're looking at online and stuff. So I've heard of it, and I actually have Bark on my phone, although I don't use it. So that was their anchor.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, though, is a lot of these. We have 3 or 4 of those here in Central Florida, but they market themselves as incubators and accelerators, but really all they are office space.
Right.
I mean, that's their business right there. They tell you, oh, we're this incubator, we're this accelerator. You come here and
you can connect you with a lot of people.
But the reality is, and we've seen them. It's just really office space, and it's office space that people kind of don't go to. They have it, but they don't really use it. And when they're there, people who are there aren't always very friendly or interactive.
At the end of the day, the multi-million coffee shops that are opening up around the world with high-speed Wi-Fi and a nice cup of Java, and actually a little more kombucha entertainment or kombucha, and a little more people watching, you get to see some weirdos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they wouldn't consider themselves weirdos.
They're not weirdos.
I'm sorry.
You're there. You're a coffee shop.
I'm a coffee shop.
You're a weirdo. You walk with a cow outfit on.
Nothing wrong with a cow outfit at all. So, what's in the near future, do you think?
Well, we've got to keep doubling down.
We did fire a Facebook marketing guy.
Oh, we did.
We didn't necessarily fire. Man. So, Drew told me slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yep.
I'm actually quick to hire, quick to fire, because I just love everybody.
That's why you fire them all.
So I didn't fire him. He actually, after I drilled him enough with what I really wanted and what he wasn't giving me, he realized that he couldn't satisfy my needs.
No.
And he said, Randy, maybe we should pause this and part ways. And I said, you just took the words out of my mouth.
So it was a mutual.
Well, we'll call it mutual.
Yeah.
He cut it off before I could.
He dumped you.
He did send me the invoice, which I never paid. before this conversation, so I held off on the invoice for just a day.
Yeah.
And then he realized that I probably wasn't happy.
It was for the following month, or was for the
It was for the
previous
coming up month.
Okay, so pay your bills now. If you-
We always pay our bills.
Yeah. If you get a service done, pay your bills.
So he's gone. We've also brought on a intern, a UCF intern, who's I'm hoping to be a lot of fun. Rodrigo. So we have Rodrigo and we have David, who's also like more of a social media consultant.
Yeah, we'll bring him on a podcast one of these days.
And so we have the Hispanic, Indian, and Gringo.
Dude, it's all about race with you all the time.
We're rolling cultural. We're rolling cultural. Oh, I had a great meeting also with the Spanish Chamber of Commerce president.
Good. Bilingual.
Keeping it real.
Yep.
So back to Facebook, and so now we have 2 social media, one assistant that helps me and one that's a consultant that's helping get everything rolling. Feeling pretty good about that. You know, nobody's gonna work as hard as I want them to.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell somebody to jump, I want them to fucking jump.
Yeah.
When I say, hey, here, I sent you the font, fix it, I want to click on my refresh button and I want to see it fixed.
Yeah.
Then, not Thursday. Anyways, we'll get there. Yeah. I guess we're not paying enough.
So next episode we will discuss.
Well, we're going to continue to discuss the traction that we're receiving from text messages.
Progress. So you guys will see what kind of progress we're
making. We've got an 11 o'clock meeting on Monday with somebody who's going to help maybe run the text messaging, since I was able to take a week and really engineer it into a way that I feel
so now we're going to leverage out.
We're going to leverage out, and I can stop making my eyes bleed. I stared at the computer screen for a lot this week.
It looks like the guy from Amityville Horror.
Nice. So, yes, we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the fucking bullshit we're dealing with Trusttheherd. We're going to discuss...
And we're going to New York next Wednesday.
I mean,
right?
I'm dealing with some confrontational type of things that I don't really want to right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get it all figured out.
That'll be for another episode.
Yeah, another episode. We are flying to New York on Wednesday. We'll do a podcast from New York, maybe.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to go up there and talk with some peeps about some exit strategies. Maybe get a game plan of really how we want our pitch deck to be formulated and who it's formulated to. Do we need maybe multiple pitch decks? Do you have one that's geared towards this exit and one that's geared towards this? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be able to explain a little more about a pitch deck and what the avenue we took on a pitch deck next week. We're gonna be able to talk about text messaging and how well that's doing, and also any of the other marketing that we're dibble-dabbling in. And we're gonna help to educate you on mistakes that we make. And continue to make. And hope that you don't make them. And if you do, then you'll know how to fix them.
Are you bringing the caster to New York?
We'll see.
That might get you arrested in New York.
We'll see.
Actually, you'll probably get you arrested.
Long story short, you can check us at our brand new YouTube page. When you listen to this, it might not be brand new anymore, but Herd Talk.
Herd Talk. H-E-R-D.
H-E-R-D. Not to mention the online video on YouTube. It'll be a video, obviously. YouTube videos, uncut, uncensored. When I say uncut, I feel weird. Yeah. I feel that means like uncircumcised.
That's just weird.
It's just weird.
That's just this whole thing going.
Okay. Anyways, hey, check us on. Herd Talk, Instagram Service Herd, Facebook Service Herd. Just Google Service Herd, no space. Service Herd, no space. Okay, no space, H-E-R-D. You'll find us everywhere. And that's the goal. Find us everywhere, and when you need us, you can find us. Share with your providers in your life. Share with your friends.
Share with anybody.
We look forward to seeing you
in the herd.
In the herd.
Peace.
In the Middle East, we did get Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Victory this week for the U.S.
Boom.
Booyah.
See ya.